Ladies and gentlemen, there's 3 days left on the Tier 3 Selector event quest, so do not miss it. Collect your tokens, do all of the quests and the one daily 6 times so that you can get your 250 to 300 tokens so that you can get the Tier 3 Selector. There are 25 available characters, so we're going to be ranking all 25 in a brand new tier list so that you have the best options and the best information to make the best possible decision. There's lots of good Tier 3s here for the present or the future, so do not miss that. And for those of you who are wondering, okay, Alex, I have all of the Tier 3, so I guess I'm just not going to watch this video. You also want to consider the fact that the Tier 3 Selector now refunds you if you choose the character that you already have. So let me show you with the Transcendent Selector. If I choose a character that I already have, it's going to give me not only 512 bios, but then look, it gives me some CCF, some Awakening Crystals, and actually a lot of Awakening Crystals and a lot of Mandalays. It's the exact same thing for the Tier 3 Selector. It will give you the character's bios if you already have them. It will give you, I think, 400 CCF or something like that. And then it gives you some Essence of Dimension and some Titan component packs. So even if you have all the characters, you should consider getting this if you need the Tier 3 materials. I personally think the Tier 4 materials are better if you have all of those Tier 3s, like if you have all 25 of them, but at least pick up Sylvie so you have her unlocked at 1 star, and then, spend the rest of your time collecting the tokens and considering what you're going to do. But with that being said, without further ado, let's jump into the tier list now. And let's take a look at what it is. There we go. And what this is going to look like. So we have a brand new tier list here with all 25 characters. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to rank them with a live tier list. So I want to, again, crowdsource your opinions. I think this is really fun because not only do you still get to keep my list, so you can always refer back to it and get my opinions on it, but that you can also get the opinions of other players in the community who have been playing just as long as I have. So you get a much more well-rounded opinion than just one person's opinion, right? Because what's better than my opinion? Well, my opinion plus 999 of your opinions. That's so much better, okay? So here we go. I've made those 5 different rankings. We have PvE, so meta, in my opinion, like very strong for PvE. You have very strong for PvP or meta for PvP. Then you have good. Okay, so just to be clear here, the PvE and PvP are both better than good. That's why it's a different category. And then support is good, but generally for support, not for dealing damage, etc. And then not good is pretty straightforward. It's just the character is not very good. Last year, we had an additional category called future value, where I put characters like Sharon Rogers and Loki, because we were assuming that they would be getting uniforms this year, right? Later this year, either because Sharon Rogers gets a uniform every year, or because Loki had Loki Season 2 to look forward to. I don't really think there's anything this year in this year's list that really points out, future value. I could be wrong about this, absolutely, but just looking at the list, I can't see anything. I mean, you could maybe make an argument for Falcon and Winter Soldier because of that movie, the new Captain America movie. But even then, apparently the movie's going through reshoots. We have no idea how long it's going to be. War Machine ended up being a Skrull, so it's so weird right now. The MCU's kind of in shambles. I didn't want to bring that stuff into play and potentially confuse people even more, so I left it out. Okay, so let's jump right in. What's my opinion of Ant-Man? I think Ant-Man's pretty good. But I'm going to put him in the good category. But what I want to point out here, I cannot shuffle them around after they've been ranked. So if the ranking ends up falling out of line in terms of like the order that I want them in, then I will I'll alter it later. But for sure, Black Bolt is PvE. He's very good. He has fallen off a little bit. He's lost a step because of Loki coming in and other characters coming in, Ghost Rider, etc., Captain Marvel. He's no longer the de facto best universal for PvE. Wow, this is really slow, but I still think he's good. Black Panther also very good, absolutely PvE. I would actually put Black Panther a little bit ahead of Black Bolt just because it's a bit more of a competitive category, or a bit less of a competitive category, I should say, the combat class. But yeah, that is what it is. Black Widow, also good. I would say she's better than Ant-Man, but the way that it works, they're actually going to put her behind him. So I'll show you what my list would have looked like had I been able to rank them with the order correctly. But I'm flabbergasted at how slow this is. Wow. Captain America, also just good, in my opinion, not meta for anything. Keep in mind that for these lists, all of the characters need to have their newest uniform in order to be in the respective categories, right? So like if you don't have Black Bolt's uniform, then he's not good. Just straight up. He drops all the way to the bottom. Same thing for Black Bolt, same thing for Ant-Man, same thing for basically all of these characters. Yeah, and so that's the thing also for seasonal uniforms. They do take a hit because I know it's a lot harder to get the seasonal uniforms, and it's sort of like you get it or you miss it, and you're kind of just screwed for a year. Captain Marvel, very, very strong. I think her and Loki have really brought up the value of the Universal class, especially considering so many Universals lately. Thanos, Ghost Rider, Black Bolt have all been seasonal. It's really nice to get some non-seasonals. Cyclops, still by and large a support. A very good support, don't get me wrong, better than ever. But still just a support, not really much there. Ghost Rider, another amazing PvE character, but absolutely 100% needs the seasonal uniform. Without the seasonal uniform, I would say he's easily in the not good category. It's just way too much of a drop to the King of Hell. There's no heal. It's just kind of an awkward uniform. Hela is actually a very good support, but I'm actually going to put her in PvP. I think she's good enough to be in PvP. She's primarily a PvP support, so it sort of already makes sense. But with a lot of the ban lists in PvP lately, especially for Otherworld Battle, Hela has continued to prove her usefulness, especially if you can get your hands on her artifact. Very, very strong with the immortality. She can pop off the tier 3, massive AoE, get multiple confirmed kills. Plus, she still has the iframe ignore counterattack third skill, which is very nice. Daredevil could have some future value because they're working on the show, the new Daredevil show, Born Again. But for the meantime, I would say he's not good. Daredevil's probably the only one that I would say maybe future value, but I'm not even sure if this is like next year future value or 2025 future value. So it might be a bit of a needle in a haystack kind of situation. Falcon, like we talked about earlier in the video, could have some future value, but for the time being, he's absolutely not good, just not strong enough to really hold his own against the incumbent tier 4 or even just level 80 meta. But I mean, still good for a speed type, but also, I mean, like, compared to Miles, man, it's absolutely crazy. Rogue, unfortunately, also not good. I think she's better than Daredevil and Falcon, but not good, and certainly unable to keep up with characters like Storm and other mutants who have been able to take the leap to level 80 and the leap to tier 4. Vision, also not good. We got a bunch of not goods in a row. Yeah, Vision's a very old uniform now. This is back from 2021, so this is almost 3 years old now, which is crazy. Same thing with Winter Soldier, very old uniform now. Wasn't even very good when it came out. Not much to really say about Winter Soldier. Hulk, absolutely still relevant in PvP. Not the dominant force, the number one force that he was a year ago, but I still think very good, and he becomes very dominant when you ban Adam, Wolverine, or even if you just ban Adam and Jean. Hulk absolutely, makes a name for himself there. Iron Man, funny enough, I'm actually going to put in good. I think he's no longer in the solidified meta of the game, considering how many strong blast types we have, but I do still think he is good. Loki, absolutely meta, no question. 100% meta for ABX and ABL. World Boss and GBR, not as much, but it's tough to say that Loki is less meta for World Boss than Black Bolt when he's available for more restrictions than Black Bolt, right? Even if they play similarly, or even if Black Bolt's a little bit faster for World Boss Legend, the fact that you can use Loki, 25% more often is kind of a hard thing to deny and to sort of pass up here. So, can I choose who I'm voting for? Oh, I can choose who I'm voting for. Oh, okay. So I have to put these in order then. Hang on. Can I reset this? Oh, hold on. I didn't realize I can reset this. I can reshuffle these. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Okay. I should have done that from the beginning, but it's okay. We'll do that with the next. I had no idea how this worked. We'll do that with the next one here. Shang-Chi is not good, so I don't have to worry about ranking him. I mean, he's almost good enough to be in good, not quite. But yeah, I would just put him at the top of not good. Like if I could reshuffle the not good category, and I'll show you what it looks like later. That's what I would end up looking like for me. Sharon goes into good. I think she's solid, very, very good, just not meta because she has no value for ABX, ABL. Very, very strong for World Boss and GBR. But the thing is, as we get more and more tier 4s, the value of one single character for GBR or World Boss Legend shrinks, and then only becomes relevant when you're trying to clear very specific stages. Like if you're climbing up from 50 Kang, or you're climbing up from whatever Jean, these very difficult bosses that require blast females, then yes, it becomes very relevant to have a character like Sharon, and then her tier 4 becomes much more attractive. But that's a very, very niche situation. It's not like a daily thing that you're going to be doing. Spider-Man, obviously PvP, right? He's been there for a while. He hasn't really changed. Not bad for PvE, but there are better options, and speed male heroes just not that useful. But PvP, he still remains able to check a lot of blast types. Storm, I'm also going to put in good. I think some people are going to disagree with me. They're going to say she's meta. She is technically still meta for mutant female hero, the 1 day of ABL, but I wouldn't be surprised if she gets replaced in the next like 3 to 6 months. Honestly, it's been way too long, to be honest. We were surprised that it took them as long as it took them to replace Moon Knight with Black Panther. Storm has been holding on even longer than that, so it's high time that she get replaced. Taskmaster, amazing support, one of the best, especially in the tier 3 selector. Thor, I'm also going to put in good, believe it or not, so I'm holding my biases aside for the time being to rank these characters as accurately as possible. I think Thor is good, but at this point, if you don't have either Thor or Loki, it's much better to go for Thor. Same thing for Venom. I think he's good, but I think there's just better options in the case of combat types. So you just have straight up Black Panther. War Machine, not very good, certainly not good, but he is technically a support, so that is where we're going to put him, and I believe that wraps up the list. So there you go. 20% in PvE, 12% in PvP, and then the rest shake out that way. However, the ranking is not correct as far as where they should be, their positions. So let me update the positions for you. And there you have it. This is the most accurate ranking. It's exactly the same as the ranking that we just showed you, but now the characters are properly ranked from best to least best within their own category. So Loki would be the first, and then second would be Ghost Rider, then Captain Marvel, all the way to Black Panther. In the good category, by far, Storm is the best of these, and Ant-Man is the worst of these. And then same thing for down here, Rogue is the best of the not good, and then Winter Soldier is the sort of worst of the not good. So they've all been ranked within their categories, and this is the now most up-to-date, most accurate Tier 3 selector guide for Black Friday 2023. But that's not all. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, in the description of the video. There is a link so that you can go and vote and let everybody know what your list looks like. Thank you so much for watching. Go and vote, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.